Hello everyone, welcome to channel Qtomation. So far in previous sessions, we have started with framework creation. So in first session, we have gone through the application understanding, selecting the test cases which we want to automate. Then in second session, we have created new project and installation of required packages. That is also we have completed in our previous session. So we have installed Selenium libraries, PyTest, PyTest HTML reports, PyTest Exist, OpenPyXL, and Allure PyTest. So all these packages we have installed after creating a new project in our previous session. Then we have also created a folder structure for our project. So framework requires some folder structure. We have created different type of folders in our project. We have created base pages, test cases folder, utilities package, test data folder, logs, configuration, screenshots, reports. So these are the folders which we have created in our automation project. So far we have completed this much amount of work in our automation framework creation. In today's session, we will write first test case. So as I have said earlier, for first couple of test cases, it will need some effort. We have to create different type of components as per our framework for first couple of test cases. And once we have that framework ready, after that adding new test cases requires less efforts. So initially it might require more effort to create the framework components. So what we will do today is we will create login test cases by using page object model. So we are going to follow page object model design pattern. So what exactly is page object model? In page object model, we create a separate corresponding page class for each web page in the application. And we will store all the locators to inspect elements on that page and all the actions which we are going to perform during the test cases on that page. So what we will do is, let's see a simple example. So in previous sessions, whenever we done automation Selenium practice, we did not create multiple classes. What we did, in the same file, we have identified the web elements. In the same file, we have also performed various actions on it. For example, text input or any click, selecting the drop down. All those action methods we have performed in the same class or same file. We have also written validation of the test case, and all those things we have written only in single file. So entire automation from end to end, all the steps from identifying the web elements, writing the action methods and test case, all these things we have performed within a single file. That is a non-page object model layout. But this is not the right approach, because let's say there are 10 to 20 test cases. So writing all those things, multiple things on all these test cases is not recommended approach. Because tomorrow, let's say you have created 10 test cases. In every test case, you have used login. So we are login with some element, right? So we have to identify the login input field, login button, etc. And in those 10 to 20 cases, let's say any of the web element changes. So we know that in development, web page can change at any time, any development cycle. So let's say if any one of the element gets changed, then our script will fail for all the 20 test cases. And then we will have to change that locator for all those 20 test cases. Now it becomes very tedious. To avoid that, what we can use is we can use page object model layout. So what will happen in page object model layout is we will separate out locators, action methods in separate class. So let's say we have the application now. I will show you the application. So we are going to automate admin login first. Now this is the application. Application can have multiple web pages. Now this is the login web page. So what we will do, we will create one login base page class. That login base page class will contain locators which we are going to operate. For example, this email input field, password input field, login button. So all the locators present on this page, and we are the locators which we need for our test cases. All those locators will be stored in that one web class page, that is login admin login class, we can say. So that one class file or login base page that will contain the locators as well as that will contain the action methods. What are the action methods here? Entering the email, entering the password, clicking on this remember me, or clicking on this login button. So these are the action methods. So we will write one method for entering email, we will write one method for entering password, we will write one method for clicking login button. So all these methods will be also present in that login base page class. In one login admin login base page, we will have locators as well as action methods which we perform on this web page. That is the login base page. Our web application can have many other web pages. So for each and every web page, we will create one base page, or we can call it as a page objects. Why we are calling page objects is because in test cases, so test cases will be written separately in another class. That is the main principle of page object model. So what we will do, we will separate out two classes. Let's say class ABC, which will contain all the web elements and action methods. And we will have another class XYZ, that is, let's say, test class. That class will contain actual test cases. And from this test class, what we will do, we will create object of this class ABC, that is object of the base page. So if I am going to write the login test cases in this class XYZ, I am going to create object of class ABC, and by using that object, I will call action methods from this class ABC. So main advantages is we can have only one login base page class and we can create multiple test classes. So tomorrow, let's say I will have some another functionality and I have to write another test cases for that functionality. Again, I will have to use login page. So just by creating object of this one login page, I can use in multiple test classes. And if tomorrow any web element changes from the login web page, I don't have to change in every test file. So I don't have to change it in every test file. I just have to change in base page. I will just go to login base page and I will just change the locator. That's it. Change will be required only at one place and that will be reflected automatically in all the test files wherever we have used class ABC methods. That is the main benefit of page object model. So we will see practically as well how we can perform it. So what we will do, we will create admin login base page class. We will create one file for admin login within the base pages folder or base pages package. We will write locators in that file. We will find locators as well as action methods in that login base page. In that login base page, we will write action methods and locators. Then we will create test case file. Then we will create one file for test class. In that test class, we can write the test cases. Test cases like, let's say, what the test cases which are going to write. So we will first verify whether page title is correct or not. After opening this website, we will verify first whether the title of the page is expected title or not. We will perform some valid login with the valid credentials, and we will also check invalid login, negative test case. So what we will do, we will intentionally provide incorrect credentials. Let's say I am providing incorrect credentials, and after clicking on login, I should get error message because that is invalid login. So I should get this message. It should not allow me to log in. That is also one of the test case which we will verify. But our main focus currently is on creating the framework. So what are the steps which we will do? So we are going to follow page object model format. We will create one base class for admin login page and test class for admin login test cases. And from this test class, we can create object of class login page, that is the base page, that is also page object, and we can call the methods from the base page. Once we start practically, we will understand in better ways. So what is the first step is, we have to create first base page. After creating the first base page for admin login page in the base pages package, and then we will write test cases in test cases folder. We will create one test class in which we will write test case for valid login, invalid login, and title verification of that page in test cases folder. And we will also create conf-test.py in our test cases. And why we are creating that I will show you in some time. So let's start with it. So we are going to follow page object model design pattern. So first step is, we have to create first base page for admin login page. So now let's go back to PyCharm. So this is our project structure. We have created this in our last session. Now what is the thing which we have to do is, we have to first create login admin base page, which will contain locators and action methods. So I'm just going to base pages, how to create a new Python file, right click on it, new Python file. I'm just going to name it as, let's say, login admin page. I have named it as login admin page. So this is our first base page class. We can create page object for this class. Now this page will not contain the test cases. This is the base page. It is not going to contain the test cases. It will contain the locators of that login page and action methods which we can perform on that login page. For example, entering the username, entering the password, clicking on login button. So these are the action methods and all those locators. So all these things will be present in this login admin page. So here we will create one class. We will name it as class, let's say, login underscore admin. We can give any class name, but I am just following this convention. I am just naming it as class login admin page. In this class, what we will do is, we have to first write the locators. So what are the locators? So let's go back to our application. Let's try to identify the locator for this email field, that is the input field, password input field, and login button. So we will first find out these three locators. Let's try to inspect it. Now we are finding the locators. Let's find this email input field. If you see, you can find ID. ID is email. I'm just copying the ID let's go back to PyCharm. I have to write one variable. So let's say I'm just creating that is the input field. So I'm just using text box underscore username, and which locator type we are using? We are using ID. So I'm just naming it as text box underscore username underscore ID. So we can easily identify while creating the framework. We should use the name in such a way that we can easily identify, and they should be unique across all the files. We should follow the same format for naming it. So it means it is a text box for username, and locator type we are using ID equals to, this is the ID. Next one is password field. So again text box underscore password underscore, again let's try to identify the password field. If you see, there is ID as password. Let's use the ID. Again it is a ID, so equals to value of that attribute. Now the third locator. What is the third locator we have to find out is login button. So after entering the email, that is the username, after entering the password, we have to click on the login button. So let's try to identify login button. If you see, button is a tag name. I will just write XPath for this. Control F, 2 times forward slashes. What is the tag name? Div, not the div but the button. So button is the tag name. And what is the type? Type equal to submit. So we can use @type equals to submit. It is in lowercase. Yeah, so once you enter on it, we can easily identify this login button. So this is the XPath for this login button. So what is this? Locator for login button. So I will just use button, let's say button underscore login underscore, what we are using, XPath, equals to, this is the value for XPath. Now this is the locator value for button, login button. So now we have written the locators. In our base page, in our login admin base page, we have located all the locators which we required. After that, what we will do, inside this now, we have to write one constructor. So how to create a constructor? So we have to use def. This is we have already covered in our Python sessions, right? So we are just creating one constructor. So constructor gets invoked whenever we create the object for our class. So we are just writing the constructor def underscore underscore init So after creating the class, we have identified the locators, and now we want to add one constructor in it. So how to create a constructor is def underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. Yeah, so there was some indentation error. Now we have to create the constructor. So def underscore underscore init underscore underscore self, and in this constructor we are going to accept one parameter, that is driver. Now this driver will be sent by test cases. When we are creating the test class, we are going to send this driver, that we will see in some time. But just understand, we are passing driver as a parameter in the constructor of this login admin page base class, and then we will make it as global. For example, self.driver equals to driver. So here we are using it. So we are the driver instance which we have passed here, we are using it as self.driver. So after using self.driver, we can use it to access all the class variable and class methods. So now by using this self.driver, self means it belongs to the class. Self keyword we have already seen. Self, whenever we use self keyword means it will belong to the class, and we can access these variables. We can access these locators by using self.driver. That's why we are adding it in our constructor. Now after creating the constructor, so this is the constructor which we have created. So this is the constructor which we have created. Now the next step is we have to write action methods. We have to write action methods. So on this login page, what are the action methods we are going to write? Means what are the actions we are going to perform on this login page? We can perform entering email, entering password, and clicking on this login button. So there are 3 action methods which we can perform. So I will just write 3 action methods as a, let's say def. Let's give the name to the first action method as enter username. So we are entering the username. Enter username. Self keyword means it belongs to the class. And then we can provide self comma username. Now username which will be passed from the test case, right? So we have to enter the username in that field, right? So this method, whenever we call, it will enter the username which we pass, and that is getting accepted here as a parameter. So this username we have to pass inside this username field, right? Inside this email we have to pass this username. So now to pass that username into that username field, what is the action item? So we have to pass that username into this email field. So what we can do here is we have to identify this email field, and if you see, there is already some value which is present inside it. So we have to clear this value. It will clear this value, and then we have to enter the required value here. So then we have to enter this admin@yourstore.com or whatever the username which we are passing here. Understand that we have to first identify this email field. After identifying this email field, we have to clear it first, and then we have to put the required value. So let's go back to PyCharm. So how to identify it? We have to use self.driver dot find element by dot id. So we are going to use this locator. We have already located this, right? So this is the username field locator by dot. So let's import this package. So by dot id, then we have to provide comma, and this is the value, right? So this is the value. So it will, we have to use self dot text box underscore username underscore id. So this is the value which will get passed in that field. We haven't passed it, we have just identified that field. We have to first clear it. So why we are using clear method? So once we use the clear method, what it will do, it will clear this field. So if there are any previously filled value, that will clear it. After clearing this input field, then we have to enter our value. So let's go back to PyCharm. I will just copy this. Again, I will just locate that field, and now we have to use send keys method. Send keys method will send the values. And what value we want to send? Username. So this is the username value. So this value, it will send it to that input enter field, right? So this value we will get it from our test cases. Whenever we call this method enter username, we will pass this username value, and that will be accepted here, and it will be passed in that username field. So this is the first action method for entering the username. We have written the first action method to enter the username. Now the next action method we have to write is entering the password. So again, let's copy this, or we can write the new one. How to write it? DEF enter password. That is the method name. Enter password. And in this we have to pass self and password. So instead of username, now we are passing the password. And again, I have to just copy this. We have to use which locator now? Password locator. So self.driver.find element by ID. Instead of username, now we have to pass this password locator. So this will accept the password locator, and it will clear the value if there is any previously filled value. And then again here also it will send keys, but this time it should be password. So I am just copying this parameter and I am passing it. So it will pass the password in the password field. So this is the method to create or to enter the password in the password field. This is the second action method. So far we have written the action method for entering the email. We have written the action method for entering the password. After entering the email, after entering the password, what is the next action we want to do? Click on login button. So let's try to write action method for clicking login button. DEF click underscore login, right? So this is the method name. Here we don't have to pass anything because we are not passing any value. We have to just click on that button. So how to write it? Self dot driver dot find element by dot. Now this time we have to use XPath. We have to use XPath because we have located the button by using XPath. So I am just copying it by dot XPath comma, and we have to provide the value of XPath. Self dot value should be self dot, because we are accessing the class variable. We are trying to access class variable, that's why we have to use self keyword. So it will locate that login button, and then we have to click on it. So we have to use click method. So whenever we call this click login method, it will perform click action on that login button. So these are the action methods which we have written. So what we have done so far? We have created admin page, login admin page base class, or we can say the class from which we can create page objects. Inside the base pages folder, we have created base page for login page. Then we have stored all the locators which we require from the login admin page. We have created one constructor which will accept the driver as parameter. And then by using self.driver, we can access all these locators. We have created three action methods. First one to enter username, second one to enter password, and third to click on login button. And then we have located these elements and we have performed the actions on those. So we have created the base page and we have created the action methods. This is the creation of login base page. So what we have done? We have created the first base page for admin login page. And from this login admin page, base page, we can create the page objects now. That we will see once we write the test cases. Now next step. What is the next step? We have to write actual test cases now. So we have to write actual test cases. So if you see this diagram, we have created the first class. We have created base page. We have created the base page for login admin page. Now we will write the test class. Test class will contain test cases. Test class will contain actual test cases. And from these test classes, we can create the object of our base page. And we can call those action methods directly. So we don't have to write all those action methods, locating the elements, all those things we don't have to write in our test cases. So I will show you how. So now we are in this step. We have to write the test cases for valid login, invalid login and title verification of the page. So now let's go back to PyCharm. Now in this page, so in base pages we have written login admin page. So this is done. Next step is in test cases folder now. So in test cases we have to create a new Python file. Let's name it as, so while creating the test cases we have to understand we are using PyTest framework, right? So there should be a fixed naming convention. So it should always start with test. Our test case file should always start with test, and then we can give any name, test underscore, let's say admin login. So this is the name of our test class file. This is the name of our first test class file, test underscore admin underscore login. Remember, test cases should always start with test. Now here we have to import PyTest. We are importing PyTest, and after that what we have to do, we have to create one class. We can name it as, let's say, class test 01. This is our first test class, admin login. This is the class which we have created. In this class I am just going to use, so for opening this page we need this URL. This is the URL which we are going to open. So this is the URL which we are going to open. So I am just copying this URL, admin page URL. So this is the URL which we want to open. And we have to pass some username, right? So we have to pass username. We have to also pass some password. So what is the username you want to pass? So if you see, this is the username. This is the username which we want to pass. And what is the password? Password is also admin. So this is the password which we are going to pass here. And we are going to perform one test case for invalid login as well. So what I will do, I will just create one more invalid email. So let's say I'm just going to pass this invalid username. Let's say intentionally I am going to pass this invalid username to check if we are getting the incorrect message or not. We are getting that error message or not. So I will just pass some incorrect email ID. Then it should not allow me to log in. That is a negative test case. So I'm just passing admin random. Some incorrect email ID I am passing it. Now these are the 4 variables which we have created with some values. And now we can write the actual test cases. So now we have to write the actual test cases. So what is the first test case we are going to write is, so let's say I'm just going to write first test case to verify once we open this URL, what is the page title. So I'm just going to verify the page title is correct or not. So let's say once I open this web page, if you want to see the page title, what we can do is we can simply inspect it and just search for title. Control F, title. So if you see, this is the title. This is our expected title. So I just want to check after opening this web page, we are getting the correct title or not. So I'm just copying it. We will use it for comparison or assertion. So let's go back to our project. Now we have to write the actual test cases. Actual test cases methods. So let's write def, that is the how we can write the method, and inside this we have to write def. First test case is test title verification. So this is the test case which we have created. Now in this, what we are going to do is, once we create the test case, what is the first step we have to do? We have to first launch the browser. We have to first launch the browser and open that URL. So for that we have to do driver equals to webdriver dot Chrome. So we have to create the instance of our WebDriver. Then only we can actually open the web browser, right? So I'm just importing the WebDriver. We are creating the driver instance by using webdriver.chrome. I can use self keyword here. So self.driver means now this driver we can use to access this class variables. Once we make it as self.driver, that means we can use it to access this class variable. So save.driver equals to webdriver.chrome. After that, what we have to do? We have to launch the browser self.driver dot so once we so far what we have done, we have created the base page. After base page creation, we have created the test class. In this test class, we have added the variables like admin page URL which we want to open, then username, then password, and then invalid username which we have added. And then what we have to do is, we have created one method which is the actual test case. We have to verify title of the web page. So in the title of the web page, what we have to do, we have to now open the URL, right? So after creating self.driver equals to webdriver.chrome, what we have to do is, we have to now get the browser URL open. So self.driver.get, inside that what we have to do, we have to open that URL. Which URL you want to open? This one, right? So I will just use again self.admin page URL. So what this will do, it will launch the browser, Chrome browser. After launching the Chrome browser, what it will do, it will basically open this URL. It will open this URL. So here we have to import WebDriver, right? So I am just going to use from dot selenium import WebDriver. Yeah, so this is how we have to import Selenium WebDriver. And after this, what we have to do is, so we have now launched the website. We have launched the browser and we have opened the website. So far we have launched the browser and we have opened this website. After opening this website, we want to fetch the title. So how to fetch the title? So I will just create, let's say, actual title. How to get the title? So self dot driver dot title. Self.driver.title will give you the title of that web page. It will fetch the title and it will store it in this actual title. And what is the expected title? expected title is the title which we want to verify. So I have just copied that. So let's see what is the expected title here is. This one is the expected your underscore store dot login. So I'm just copying it and storing it in expected title. Now we have to compare both the values. If both the values are matching, that means our test case is pass. If both the values, for example, I will just add the condition, if actual title equals to expected title, then that means assert true. That means assert is true. That means test case is pass. And after assert true means test case is pass, we have to close the driver as well. So I will just use self.driver.close. So it will close the browser. This is for passing condition. But what if that title does not match or some error occurs? So that will come in else block. Else, what it will do, if it is not matching, then assert false. But before that we have to close this browser. Driver.close. Self.driver.close. So it will close the browser. So this is the first condition which we have added. So we will launch the browser, we will fetch the title, we will store the title in it, we will compare the title. If the title matches, that means the test case is pass, else the test case will fail. So that is the first test case which we have written. So far we haven't created object for our base page. That we will create in our next test case. So this is the first test case. Now write another test case, def test valid admin login. So I am just going to create a new test case now, valid admin login case. So in this case what we will do, we will again launch the web page, but this time we have to pass the email, pass the password, click on login button, and after login what we will do, we want to verify, right? So we have to add some checkpoint here. How we will conclude that test case is pass? How we will conclude that we have successfully logged in? So let's see after login what happens. So we have entered the correct username, correct password, and if everything is correct, we land up on this web page. We will identify if we can see the dashboard. If we can see the dashboard text, that means we have successfully logged in. So that will be, we will be adding that as a checkpoint. But before that, let's go back to our project. First we want to log in, right? So now we will use page object concept. So first step is, again we have to create the driver instance, and then we have to open this web page. So we have to open this URL. So this is again the same step. After opening the web page, now what is the next action item we have to do? We have to pass the username. So now what we have to do is, we can create the object for login admin page class. So this class object which we can create, and we will call this methods by using this class object. So how to create the object? We have to create by using self.login page. You can give any name, self.lp equals to self.lp, or we can say, instead of lp we can say admin underscore lp, because this is the object of admin page login class. So self.admin underscore lp equals to class name we have to provide. This is the syntax of creating the object. So I'm just using that login. If you see, what is the class name? Login admin page. So I'm just using that class name, and we have created the object of that class. But if you see, we can see this red line, right? So we have to import this package, right? So we have to import this package. If you highlight on it, it is saying us to import this package. So I'm just click on it. So it will automatically import from base pages. That is the base pages folder which we have created, in which we have created this login admin page. From base pages dot login admin page, that is the file name, we have imported login admin page class. And after importing in, we can create the object. So we have created the object here. Now by using this object, what we will do, let me just show you. I will just split. So now if you see, this is our login admin page base class and this is our test class. Here we have created the object self.admin_lp. This is the object of this login admin page class. And now by using this admin lp object, this is the page object. We can call this enter username method. We can call this enter username method. And enter username method, what it accept? It is accepting one parameter, that is username. So that we have to pass when we call this method. So what I will do, I will use self.admin_lp, that is the object, dot enter username. This is the method. And in this method, you have to pass the username. So we have seen, we have already created the username here. So this is the value which we want to pass. So I am just copying this variable username and we are passing that value in here. So it will pass self dot username. You have to use self keyword because it is class variable. If you want to access the class variable inside the method, we have to use self keyword. Always remember self dot username. So it will pass this username. We are calling this enter username method. So it will pass this username value to enter username here. So it will pass this value here. And then what will happen? This username will be passed to locate. So enter username method is called. So here it will. So whenever we have created the object of this login page, it has invoked the constructor, right? So it have invoked the constructor in which we have passed the driver. So now this self.driver also used to access inside this enter username method. So this will access or this will find that element. It will find that username field. It will clear that username field. Then it will find that username field and it will pass this username to that input field, right? So that's what we want. So it will pass the username, this username which we are passing after calling this method. It will be passed here. Then it will pass this username to that input field. That means this value will be passed into that username field. This is the input username field. I will just log out from here. So once we log in this open this web page, it will locate that email ID and it will clear it first and it will add the value which we are passing to that email ID field. So it will pass that value here. So that's what it will do. After entering the email, what we want to do? We want to pass the password. So again same self dot, this is the object of login admin page and we have to call which method now? Enter password method. And again here we have to pass self dot password. So now this time this will pass this password, that is admin. So we are calling enter password method from our base page. So here is the enter password method. So it will pass that password here. And from this, it will clear the password first and then it will pass that password to that password field. After locating the password field, it will pass this value to that password field. So it will successfully enter the password as well. After entering the password, what we want to do? We want to click on this login button. So now what we will use? Self dot, again page object dot click on login button method. So I am just calling this click login method. Here we don't have to pass anything because we are just using simply. So if you see the click login method here, it is not accepting any parameter because we have to simply click on that button. So it will just identify that button and it will click on that button. So it will perform click action. So it should perform login button click action. Now that is how we have to perform. So I will just close this base page now. So this is our test class. So we have written 2 test cases so far. It will click on login now. Now after login click, what we want to do is we want to add some checkpoint, right? So after login, we want to verify whether our test case is successful or not. So what we have to do, we are going to check if this dashboard text is present. If this text is present, that means we have successfully logged in. So let's try to identify this dashboard text. If you see, it is inside the div h1, right? This is inside the class content header, and h1 is the tag name. So I will just try to write XPath for it. 2 times forward slashes div @class equals to, what was the class name? Content hyphen header. That is the class name. So that is the class name. I am just writing the XPath. So if you see, when you pass this much, it is identifying it. But let's add hyphen h1 as well. So it will locate that specific element. And we want to fetch the text from it. So I will just use this XPath. So what we are going to do is, we are checking if on this locator, whatever text is present, if it is matching with dashboard text, then it is successful. So what I will do, I will just identify driver dot, so I will just add one if condition. If, or we can first store it. So I will just store actual dashboard text equals to driver dot find element self dot driver. We have to use self every time, remember. Self dot driver dot find element by dot XPath. We have used XPath. We have to import this by as well. By dot XPath, comma, this is the locator value, and we want to fetch the text from it. So I will just use dot text. So it will fetch the text, whatever found on this locator, that will be stored in this variable. Now we want to compare. If, I will add if condition. If actual dashboard text equals to, what is the expected value we want? If it is matching with dashboard, then it is success. So equals to dashboard, then we have to write assert true, and we have to close the driver. Self dot driver dot close. So it will close the driver instance. This is the passing condition. But what if it is not matching? Else assert false, and before asserting false, because if the assert is false, before that we have to close the driver. So it will false the test case, it will fail the test case. So that is the condition which we have added. But just understand, here we have created the object. So let's say if we don't have any base page, so here we had to write all the steps to identify the locator, passing the username, passing password and everything. But because we have created the login admin page base class, we can, if let's say tomorrow any locator changes, we just have to make the change here. It will be reflected in each and every test case wherever we have created the object and we are accessing these methods. That is the benefit of page object model. So let's go back to our test case. So this is our test case. So now we have written the test cases for valid login as well. Now let's try to write test case for invalid login. So I will do what I will do. I will just simply copy this one. Again I have to write this one. So I will just name it as test invalid admin login. So we are checking after passing the incorrect email ID, we should not be logged in, right? So after entering the incorrect email ID, we should not be logged in first of all. So what is the error message which we are getting, that we will compare. So let's say if I put some incorrect value, I click on login button, then I will be getting this error message. So we want to verify whether we are getting this error message or not. That is our test case. So let's try to locate this text. If you see inside this li, no customer account found is present. So Control F, try to identify the XPath li. If you see only one, so that will find out our expected text, right? So what I will do, I will just use 2 times / and li, and we will fetch the text from it. So let's go back to our test case. So initial steps are same again. These are again same. We will call login admin page object creation here, page object creation for login admin page class. Then we are calling enter username field, but here we have to pass incorrect username. So that's for we have added here, right? So invalid username, I'm just copying it. That invalid username I have to pass this time. And then we are passing the password. Then we are clicking on login. And here another checkpoint we want to add. So what we want to do is, this we don't need. So condition we will add. What is the condition we will add is, after clicking on login, we should get the error message. So I will just click, I will create one error underscore message equals to self dot driver dot find element by dot XPath. We have created the XPath, right? Comma 2 times / li, and from this XPath we want to fetch out the text. So it will store that this text. It will store this text. If you see no customer account found, it should match with no customer account found. So I'm just copying it. So that will identify that locator. It will get the message and it will store it in error message. And now we can add our if condition. If error message equals to no customer account found, that means assert true, and after asserting true we can close the driver, self dot driver dot close. This is the passing condition. We want to add fail condition as well. So let's say else assert false, and before that we are again closing the browser. So it will complete the test case for invalid admin login as well. So now we have created all the 3 steps. If you see, we have created the base login page in base pages. So base pages will contain all the locators of that login page. We have created the constructor in which we are passing the driver as a parameter. Using this self.driver we can access these locators, and we have created action methods in which we are accessing the locators and we are performing the actions. For example, clearing it, passing that value inside the username, passing the value inside the password, passing the value inside, not the passing value, but clicking on login button. So these are the action methods. If you see, in this action methods we don't have any hard-coded value. We are just interacting with this element. So locators are stored in only one location. If you change it here, it will be changed across everywhere. So only change required at one place if the locator changes. And then we have accessing this method in our test cases. We have to create the object of this login admin page, and we have created the test cases here. In the test cases, we have added 3 test cases. First, we have created the test class. After creating the test class, we have created 3 test methods, that is title verification, valid admin login, and invalid admin login. In first test case, what we are doing? We are checking whether the title is correct or not. Then we are performing valid admin login action. We have created driver instance. Then we are opening the web page for admin login. Then we have created the object of login admin page class, and we are calling all those action methods from this login admin page into our test cases for entering username, entering password, clicking on login. And then we have added one validation. to verify our test case is pass or fail. We are checking after login if dashboard text is dashboard or not. If that is matching, that means test case is pass. We are closing the driver, else test case will fail. Similarly, we have created for invalid admin login. Here we are checking the error message. Now this is the completed. Now we have to run the test cases. How to run the test cases? What I will do, I will just go to terminal. Let's go back to terminal. From this project, we have to type one command. So now we want to run the test cases. For that, we have one command, pytest -v -s. pytest -v -s. This will execute the test cases. So let's press enter. It will start the execution of the test case. It should launch the browser. It is showing collected 3 items, means 3 test cases it has collected, the 3 test cases which we have written. And then it will launch the browser. It will first verify the first test case. First one is passed because title is correctly matched. Now it will perform valid login test case. Launch the browser. It will pass the email. If you see, 2 test cases are failed. Why those test cases are failed? Let's check it out. Required one positional argument driver. So let's see one more time. So let's see what went wrong exactly in our test case. Yeah, so when we created the object, if you see here we are creating the object self.admin_lp. We are creating the object, but we are not passing the driver here. So if you see our login admin page class, whenever we are creating the object, so we have already seen when the constructor gets called, now we are creating the login admin page here. We are creating the object, but in this object creation, if you see the constructor of this login admin page, it is expecting the driver, but we are not passing the driver. Here while creating the object, we are not passing the driver. So we have to pass the driver here. So we have to pass the driver while creating the object of login admin page. That's why it is not working. So we have to just pass self.driver. So it will pass this driver wherever we have created the object. It will pass this driver to our base page, and from there it can access this. So I will just pass it here as well, wherever we have created the object self.driver. Now let's execute the file. It should run this time. So again, pytest -v -s, that is the command. So now it should launch the browser. It will perform the first test case. Title verification is passed. Then it will perform the second test case. It will launch and it will perform login action. If you see, it is getting logged in. After logging in, it will check if the dashboard text is present or not. If it is present, then it means test case is passed. If you see, it is passed. Now it will perform the third test case, that is invalid login. Launching the browser, it will pass the incorrect username. Again some error occurred. Let's see what is the error. Test object has no attribute, invalid username. Let's see the third test case again. We have created the object here and we are passing enter username. we are passing this invalid username. If you see invalid username, I'm just copying it again. Invalid username, enter username. Here we are passing this invalid username. That should call this enter username. That value should get passed here. Let's execute one more time. So if you see, this is our test case. We are calling the enter username, in which we are passing invalid username. This is the value. It should pass this. Some incorrect value we are passing it. So now let's execute this file one more time. pytest-v-s. It is performing the login action. That is passed. Now it will check for invalid login action. Okay, so this is the mistake. If you see, we have used colon here instead of equal to. We have to use assignment operator here, right? So now it is correct. So if it is passed, it will pass the incorrect value. So now that was the error it was going. So now let's execute this file one more time. Terminal. Now all the 3 test cases should get passed. Again, I am just using the command pytest-v-s. It will launch the browser. It will perform title verification, that is happen instantly. Then it will check for valid login. It will perform login action. It will check if the text is dashboard or not. If it is dashboard, then it will pass. It is passed. Now third one is invalid login. So it will perform with incorrect email ID and it will check whether that error message is correct or not. Again, it has faced it incorrectly and it is passing the test case. This is, if you see, all the 3 test cases are passed. Now what we will do is, we will intentionally make failure of the test case. Intentionally, we will fail the test cases. So what we will do, wherever we are asserting, let's say, here instead of dashboard, we are comparing, right? So here we are getting the dashboard, but I will compare it with some incorrect value. Let's say instead of dashboard, I am adding it as P, dashboard. Now both the values will mismatch, so that it will enter in this else loop and it will fail the test case. Now let's execute it and let's see the output. Again, go back to terminal. Let's execute the command pytest-v-s. That will run the file, but second test case will fail this time. Second test case will fail this time and it will give assertion error. First one is passed. Second one should fail now, because after login it will get some another text. We are getting dashboard, but it will compare with dashboard. So it should fail the test case and it will give assertion error. If you see, the test case is failed. Now third one will pass, because for third one we have not changed anything. It will check the error message, it is find correctly, then it will fail. So if you see, for second test case it is showing assert false, because that value was incorrect. So that is how we can perform pass and fail, and we can execute the file. Now here one more thing I want to explain. So far what we have done is, so far we have created the first base page class for admin login page, and then we have created the object and used in our test cases. We have created the test cases as well in the test classes. Now we have to create conf_test.py file to avoid some repetition of code, and we can use pytest fixtures here. We can use the pytest fixture methods. So how we can use it is, if you see, we have three test cases. And if you see in the first test case, we are creating the instance. Second test case also we are doing the same. In the third test case also we are doing the same. So to avoid the repetition of code, we can create pytest fixtures. So in test cases, how to create the pytest fixtures is, in the test cases, create a new Python file. I am going to name it as conf_test.py. In this file, I will just import pytest, and I will create one pytest fixture. How to create? @pytest.fixture. So this is the pytest.fixture method, and I will create one method, let's say def setup. Inside this def setup method, I will use this command line. So this is creating the driver instance. So I will just create the driver instance in the setup file. So I will just create driver equals to webdriver.chrome. It will create the driver instance. So we have to import from Selenium import WebDriver. We have used @pytest.fixture. One setup method we have created. We are creating the driver instance in it, and we are going to return the driver instance. So whenever this pytest fixture is called, whenever we are calling this setup method, or we are calling this pytest.fixture for this setup, it should return the driver. So now in our code, in our test case, if you see in test admin login test case file, instead of writing save.driver every time, what we can do is, here I will just add setup fixture, and this setup I can use directly. Save.driver equals to setup. So it will call this fixture, it will return the driver. So we are getting the driver from our pytest fixture. So here also we have to do just self.driver equals to setup. Same thing we can do here. Self comma setup self.driver equals to setup. Same thing we can do here. Self comma setup. Instead of writing webdriver.chrome every time, we can use setup. So we will see in coming sessions how we can use this pytest fixture for multiple browsers as well. That we will see in coming sessions, but just understand we have created one pytest.fixture which will return the driver, and we are just using it in our test cases. We are using just in our test cases. So again, if you run this file, it should run correctly. And along with this, what we can do, we have added conf_test.py file. Now if I execute this file, it should run as it is. I will just execute one more time. I will just change the assertion which we have added for dashboard as well, so that all test case will pass this time. So let's execute this file. It should get executed successfully. It is launching the web browser. It will launch the web browser. First test case is passed. It will again launch the web browser. Now it will check for second test case. That is the valid login test case. that is getting also passed. That should also pass. Second test case is also passed. Now the invalid login test case, that should be also passed, because again this is also passed. So all the three test cases are passed. So we have completed creating the base pages, writing the test cases, creating the conf.test.py file along with the fixture. Now one more step is remaining, that is adding the screenshot. So we can capture the screenshots on the failure of the test cases. So we can add one line in our test case on the failure condition, then it will take the screenshot if the test case fails, and that screenshot will be saved in our screenshots folder. So that also I will show you. We have screenshots folder created. So whenever any test case fails, I want to store the screenshot in the screenshot folder. Currently it is empty. So what I can do is, in the test cases, this is the test case file. In the else block means whenever the test case fails, whenever the test case is getting failed, I can do self.driver. We have to use save screenshot method. This method we can use. In this we have to pass the path. So what is the path? We are already in our root folder. We are already in our project. In project NOP Commerce, we have to go to screenshots folder. So I will just use dot. So I am using relative path. Dot 2 times slashes screenshots is the folder name. And we have to give the name of that file, right? Name and extension. So I will just use this test case name. So if this test case fail, then the file which will be created will be having that test case name .png. That is the image extension. I will just use this line for all the two test cases as well. This will capture this test case. This will capture the screenshot and it will store it in our screenshots folder if the test case fails. Again, for second test case also I am just adding save screenshots, and what is the test case name? Valid admin login .png. For third one also I will just add in else block. Whenever the test case fails, what is the test name here? Invalid admin login. I will just paste it here. So it will store the screenshot in that folder. Now I want to now fail the test cases intentionally. What I will do, I will fail both these test cases. Test invalid admin login also I want to fail. So here instead of this text message, I will add some random character here. Let's say 8899. So it will not match. It will fail the test case. Also for second test case, what I will do? Again, I will just make it as, instead of D, I will just add P. Let's execute this file now. So two test cases will fail this time. And we will see screenshot of those two test cases in this screenshots folder. Let's execute it in terminal. pytest-v-s. Now it should again launch the browser. First test case will be passed. So first test case will be passed and remaining two cases will fail. And you should capture the screenshot for them. First one is passed. Now it will fail because we have changed the text. It will mismatch the values. So it should fail the test case. It is failed. Third test case also fail. Now it will launch for third test case. Error message also mismatch. So it will fail the third test case as well. If you see, two test cases are failed. Let's see whether it has captured the screenshots or not. If you go to screenshots folder, we can see, right, both the test cases screenshots are captured here. If you see, invalid admin login.png, valid admin login.png. If you click on it, it will show you the screenshot as well. If you see, it will show you the screenshot as well. So this is how we can capture the screenshots on test failure. This is how we can capture the screenshots on test failure, and that will be stored automatically in our screenshots folder. So that's it for today's lecture. It was quite a long lecture. So what we have covered so far in our framework. We have still lots of work to do in our framework. This is just a start in our framework. We have just created a base page. What we have done so far? We have created the first base page for login admin page. We have created the test cases for valid login, invalid login and title verification in our test class that is inside the test cases folder. Then we have created conftest.py file with the PyTest fixture. Then we have also seen how to capture the screenshot on failure of test cases. I hope you all understanding this. Thanks for watching this video. In coming session, we will see more topics in our framework and we will continue developing our framework here. Thank you again.